Well, hello, gorgeous humans. Welcome to the Empowered Empath podcast. I just realized I never really introduced myself on here, so I'm just in the beginning. So I'm just going to say, hey, what's up? My name is Jess. Um, I'm a life coach. I'm a mom and a wife and a toilet cleaner and a dog poop picker-upper. I'm an emotional alchemist. I'm a spiritualist. I'm a science lover, especially the new science coming through. I am currently obsessed with mushrooms, all kinds. Right now, I'm really on to lion's mane. If you haven't checked out lion's mane, go give it a check out. It's amazing. Um, since I'm not like a health coach, I'm not going to start talking about milligrams or whatever. But I feel like lion's mane is where it's at for our brains and our hearts. Apparently mushrooms are also amazing for the nervous system. Okay, so it's been a minute since I've recorded one of these because I have been so busy recording guest episodes for you all, and I'm really fucking excited about it. I have like 4 or 5 waiting. I have another one I'm going to do next week. But I just realized, you know what? I have so many. I'm just going to start interspersing them with some solo casts too, so that it can have this really cool, woven pattern of having new energy on the podcast, new voices and interpretations, perspectives. Oh shit, my kid's timer just went off. Let's see if they bang on the door. I have it locked. Let's see how long this is going to be. It could be a 3-minute podcast. But anyway, I just had someone on. We recorded an episode yesterday, me and Noah Lampert, and we talked about synchronicity. And I had him on specifically to talk about synchronicity. And then I was like, this is such a big topic. I really want to speak more to it. So I'm going to release one additional piece right now, interpretation. And one of the things I want to talk about today is why synchronicity is, first of all, if you've experienced synchronicity. So I'm just going to say synchronicity, let's define it. Synchronicity is when the way that I see synchronicity and the way that I play with synchronicity is when I see a sync, I'll just call it a sync. When I see a sync in my life, that to me is like the universe pulling back the curtain and saying, hey, you're on the quote right path. AKA you are on the path that is in line with the trajectory that you want to go. I don't really like the binary of good and bad or right and wrong. It's just, where do you want to go? And are you on that path? Right? So synchronicities point us and let us know, yes, you're on the quote unquote right path for where you want to go. So why I think synchronicity, well, first of all, if you've experienced okay, look, we've all, the way that I think about it is that everything is in sync. I feel everything is a synchronicity, and as humans, we are not yet at the evolutionary state where we can see the pattern of everything unfolding all of the time. Personally, I think that we will evolve to that state for sure, because whatever, I won't get into that. But when the universe pulls back the curtain and says, hey, you can see the pattern, it's just so fun. Some people who don't see the universe as one big just unfolding pattern will still see it and say, oh, that's a coincidence. That's a coincidence. And to me, coincidence is basically seeing a synchronicity without the divine. It's seeing a synchronicity without the lens or your connection to the divine. So I think what makes synchronicity so special is that it has this, at least the way that I see it, has this quality of I am connected to all things. And then another step, into like what is connected to all things? It's the heart. The heart is the connection center. So I think that's why it feels so good and so fun and so juicy, is because you get to see the unfolding of something from the heart center. So, and then the reason why I think synchronicity is so important just to learn is it is the way that I see it. It is 100% the language of the universe. So the more we play with synchronicity, the more we download the language of the universe. It's just like learning a second language. You have to actually put work into it. But what's fun about synchronicity is that it's just so fun to experience. So something we talked about actually with Noah was like 20 years ago when I first started realizing like, oh shit, like the universe gives me signs. Oh my God. Actually more than 20 years ago. I think I was like younger, like a kid. I was like, oh my God, signs? Like I can actually get signs from the universe. Sweet. Like I want more of these, please. Thank you very much. And so I started like looking for them and like trying to force them. And it took me a little bit to realize, oh, like you can't like force this shit. You actually have to, this is what would be called like the divine feminine. You have to actually open. You actually have to receive the sign. It's literally a two-way communication street talking to the universe. The universe talks back, but you have to be open to hearing what the universe has to say, right? Some people call it talking to God. Some people call it talking with the universe. Some people, there's so many fucking terms. And what I love is that you're the only one who knows if it's true or not, like, because the way you get the download is through resonance. So something I like to joke about is once I started like playing with this language more, I can receive synchronicities now when I fucking look at a garbage can, obviously I'm not forcing it, but what I'm saying is playing with the universe, receiving synchronicity, you start to find out everything is sacred. There's nothing that is not sacred, because everything is part of this conscious reality that we are navigating. So it becomes this game of really fun hide and seek. And what I like about synchronicity is, did I already say this? I don't think that there's any one right path, personally. I don't like the binary of good and bad. I think that's an outdated module. And I think that's an outdated perspective from which to view the universe and reality from, only because it's so fucking limiting, because we're infinite and expansive in the way that I see you and me and what we are creating together. So what I like instead is, just like as in a timeline jump, where do you want to go? That's the only question, not what is the good path or what is the quote right path. That's not the question. The question is, what the fuck do you want to experience? Like truly want to experience? Like here's a better question. What makes your heart sing? Because whatever makes your heart sing is what you want to experience. Because sometimes our head can get in the way, right? Our head can say, society tells me I should make $100,000 a year and I have to have 2.5 kids and a dog and a white picket fence and blah, blah, all these hangovers, right? From where we come from. And I'm not saying any of those things are bad, but sometimes it can get confusing, right? Sometimes we think, oh, what I want is that. And then we actually get that. And it's like, fuck, that's not what I actually wanted. What do I want? That was a program that someone gave me. What makes my heart sing? What makes my heart sing is traveling in a van and living in, having one job a year and like not having kids. And that genuinely makes my heart sing. Yeah. Awesome. Let's get you on that path. Let's get you on that trajectory. So the question isn't, is this the right thing or not? It's, are you going forth in line with the trajectory, with the path that you most want to experience? Is this going to get you to that van that you want to live in? Yes or no? So as you're walking along your life, moment by moment, day by day, and you experience a synchronicity, that synchronicity is there to tell you something. There's a resonance. It speaks through resonance. It's just kind of like experiencing a dream. To me, the synchronicity says you're on the right path. Not right as in there's only one right, but you're on the right path for getting where you want to go. And it comes through, it can come through kind of like the more obvious ones, where maybe like all throughout your day, maybe you're talking to somebody on the phone in the morning and you're like, maybe talking about seeing a fox and what a fox means to you. And then all of a sudden, like, you see a fox sticker and you see a fox run across you and in front of you, in front of your car. And then at work, there's a new guy and he has a hat, a baseball hat with a fox on it. Like those are some of the more obvious ones that I think are so fun. Oh my God, those are so fun. But don't let the obvious ones, blind you from the more nuanced ones. Right? Like the notes between the notes, the ones where you do look at the trash can and for some reason, the way the trash is sitting in the trash can tells you that, you need to, do something different in your job. That is 100% valid. And the thing is if you go trying to tell someone about your synchronicity that you found in the trash can, most likely they're going to tell you that you're crazy. Most likely they're going to be like, yeah, that's really weird. Okay, whatever. I mean, unless it's somebody who's already playing with this shit, but you know what I mean? Please, for the love of God, take your synchronicity from the trash can, receive it, acknowledge it. That's the most important thing. Acknowledge that, yes, this was real. I don't know how. And you know what? I don't need to know how. That's where science can actually limit us, is if we receive some type of magical sign, synchronistic sign, consciousness sign, whatever, something we can't explain, and it feels resonant as fuck, but our brain, our mind kicks on and says, yeah, but how do you explain that, Jess? Yeah, but what does science have to say about that? Have they discovered it yet? Because if they haven't discovered it, it doesn't mean that it's real. It means it's not real yet. It's like, whoa, bro, hold on a second. I hear you. Thank you for helping keep me in society and not be like ousted by, the tribe or whatever. But I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this sign for me, and I'm 100% going to say, yes, universe, I feel you. Thank you. And of course, like wanting to share this with other people, if you feel resonant sharing, please, by all means, go ahead. But make sure you receive its validity within yourself first, because celebrate, even just with your mind, just saying, yep, I see you. That's all you have to do. I get to work by myself at home. So a lot of times when I get a sync or whatever, I will like yell and jump up and down. I will make a full body party out of it. And I love doing that. It's so fun. What was I saying? So, okay, we talked about, that's what I wanted to say was that's how you receive more synchronicities is number one, acknowledging them and receiving and then number one, acknowledging them. Number two, following the sign that it tells you. When you actually receive a sign from let's call it a higher vibration, right? That isn't yet physical. You receive a sign from a higher vibration, isn't yet physical, and then you download it and enact it in your physical life in this physical density, right? Let's call that a slower vibration. You are laying the track and saying, I hear you. I am taking that guidance. I'm going to make something of it. You can bet your ass you're going to get more synchronicities, more signs that say either you're on the right track or that say, hey, go this way a little bit. I'll share one with you. Let's see if I can pull up the exact quote on my phone. Shoot, I don't want to stop that. Okay, let's see. I'll have to try to do this by memory. So I'm watching, I highly recommend, first of all, getting a subscription to Gaia if you haven't already. I feel like I'm a little late to the game. I've just finally got a subscription to it. I've been on I haven't actually listened to him a lot lately, but I've been on a Bashar bender, and I just love um, Bashar. If you haven't checked him out, he's a channeled entity. Daryl Anka channels him. He's awesome. That's all I have to say. Anyway, there's also some really good shit on there. So Joe Dispenza has a really incredible series called Rewired, all about how to rewire your brain and thus your life. And he does an incredible job of taking these concepts that stem from next level science and next level, actually more like very ancient traditional spiritual concepts, and weaving them in very easy to understand language with lots of, if you're like me, you love this, lots of cool visuals to download it into your brain on a whole nother level. So in Rewired, he was just talking last night, and I was like, my husband and I watched an episode, and then our TV did something really funky it's never done before. We have one of those smart TVs, and so when the episode is about to end, it pops up and says, do you like this or do you not like this? And you can see the next episode in the little corner, right? It's starting to load. Okay, so that when this episode ends, the new one starts. Okay, for the first time ever, this episode ended before it ended. It actually cut off before it ever got to the end of the episode. So fucking Joe up there was still talking and dropping his like insightful bombs. And I was on the edge of my seat, just eating it up. Right. And it went blank. And I look at my husband, I'm like, dude, that was so weird. He's like, that was weird. That's never happened before. He's like, okay, well, whatever. But I'm like, no, I want to go back. So I go back, and then I fast forwarded it all the way to the end. He's like, you went too far. I was like, but I pressed play. So what had happened was, in the middle of me doing this, my husband was kind of teasing me. He goes, and the answer to all your, like pretending to be Joe, the answer to all your problems is, and then I pressed play, and he said, fuck, I hope I don't fuck this up. He said, wait a second, it's coming. You have to crave the unknown. Boom, like right there. It was just lined up perfectly. And I take that as a synchronicity. Just the way everything happened, very quote accidental, right? Not planned. And Ray just, being like just channeling himself, just kind of teasing and being funny. And the answer to all your problems is, and then I press play, and Joe off the screen says, you have to crave the unknown. And the reason why that was a synchronicity to me, I'll just share, right? This is exactly what I tell you not to do. Like, you don't need to go over explain your synchronicities to people, but I'm just going to share this one because I've been lately working with space, with creating more space in every single sense of the word in my life. Learning how to receive on a whole nother level. Learning how to receive the universe on a whole nother level. And if I'm going to receive the universe and more physical experiences, when I say the universe, I mean everything. I mean physical experiences, insights, all of it. If I'm going to receive more physical experiences on a whole nother level, I must make space for that. And I've been practicing that lately. And as someone who is a very high energy person, and has downloaded that as a very big part of her personality, I'm talking about myself, creating space has been a very one step at a time thing for me. So it has shown me, it is beginning to show me so much, and I have so much more to go. I can see that I have so much space, more space to download. And I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for the space I've been able to find thus far. So I've been leaving myself I leave myself love notes all the time in Post-its, on my calendar, in my phone. I send myself text messages. I'm constantly programming myself from love, not from a place of, gotta do it. But like, I get an insight. One of the ways I honor that insight is I fucking write it down. I say, I love this. I'm going to text it to myself, or, whatever. And here, pro tip, just make sure when you text it to yourself, you're not coming from a scarcity place. Make sure it's coming from like a, God, this is good. and you write it down. So I've been leaving myself love notes on creating space, just different perceptions, different ways that I interpret creating space. And so when Joe said that, he finished my husband's sentence, and the answer to all your problems is you have to crave, what was it? You have to crave the unknown. Sync. Boom, right there. So this is how personally I make synchronicities a part of my daily life. Is I love them like I love my children. I notice them. So what did I do? I received the download. I felt it. I made it real in my system. And then that one for me called for writing it down. So now it's written in our kitchen on a piece of paper and it's taped to the cupboard. And I look at it, and every time I look at it, I feel inspired by it. And then when I look at it in however many weeks or months or whatever, and I'm no longer feeling that inspired charge, it feels somewhat dead or stale, then I don't say fuck you to it. I say, I have digested you. I have integrated you. Thank you so much. And then I recycle it. So I think that's one of the main things I just wanted to pop on and talk about, especially as we ramp up talking about synchronicity more with Noah in probably going to be a couple episodes down the line. But I just have a feeling that we'll be talking about this more and more, this language of the universe, synchronicity. I want to start having more of these conversations with just like real humans on the street. Like, wouldn't it be fun if I just took my microphone and just like interviewed some strangers on the street? Like, what do you think synchronicity is? Like, do you quote believe in it? Like, have you experienced it? Like, tell me about it. So is there anything else I wanted to say about playing with synchronicity, why it's important? I think something else I wanted to say is synchronicities, I think, really help us to feel grounded and safe when we are in the midst of expanding exponentially. And I don't know about you, but I think that humanity is in an exponential shift of consciousness, which means we are expanding exponentially, unlike anything you and I have ever experienced on planet Earth before in this lifetime. So in an expansion, you're going, it's kind of like visiting the wild, wild west. It's new territory. It's new earth. And in that expansion, sometimes it can feel very discombobulating and very scary. And synchronicity, when we see synchronicities, I want to just offer, like, take that as you are safe. Take that as I am safe. I am on the right path. I am safe. I am on the right path. I see a synchronicity. I am safe. I'm on the right path. The universe has my back. The universe, I'm doing something, quote, right. So whatever I'm doing, keep doing it. Keep looking out for signs, and keep going forth, dictated by my heart. I think that's where I want to end today. Okay, so let's have that be the mic drop moment. I will leave my website if you want to work together. My offerings might be shifting soon. So if any of this work of coaching and timeline jumping, if any of that sounds fun or resonant to you, tickles your fancy, I don't think I'm going to describe it right now. But if you just have any aha, like tinglies, and want to explore this, check out my website, jessbushnell.com. And just see if any of that feels supportive in your own expansion. And if it does, hop onto a consult call and we'll see if working together in a 6-week coaching journey together feels aligned right now. Or if you just want to pop in for a single timeline jump session. All that info is on my website. Again, it's probably going to be shifting soon. So if it resonates with you now, jump on it now, because I am shifting and changing all the time, and I cannot promise it's going to be this way forever. This is 2024. So if you find this in the archives of the internet 10 years down the road, who knows where I'm going to be? Maybe I'll be in Costa Rica doing live workshops, and you know, meditating with gongs with like, 50 other badass, rad, amazing next level humans. Was that a prediction or a prophecy? Who knows? That would be cool. All right. Well, that's it for this week. Next week, I'm going to be bringing to you a guest where we're actually going to be talking about. I wanted to bring her on to kind of talk about how we can sort of fall into these traps of cults. So I'll leave that as a little teaser for you, and more on synchronicities too to come down this portal soon. So I'm so glad you're here. And I will see you next week. Mwah! Bye for now.